Hello everyone, welcome to operating system tutorial. Today we will be talking about device management, specifically how disk scheduling is done in operating system. Basically in this lecture we will be talking about disk scheduling algorithms. To begin with, operating system is responsible for using hardware efficiently. There are various types of hardware available in our system. So managing that hardware efficiently, that is the major task of operating system. In this case, for disk drives, this means having fast access time and disk bandwidth. When we talk about access time, it has two major components. Component 1 is seek time. What is a seek time? Seek time is the time for disk arm to move the head to the cylinder containing the desired sector. And another is the rotational latency, is the additional time waiting for the disk to rotate the desired sector to the disk head. Now let's understand this. When we say seek time, what it means? This is your hard disk and this is the read write head. Assuming that the data, now the disk is divided into different sectors and different cylinders. So data is currently here. So what is seek time? Is the time for disk arm to move the heads to the cylinder containing the desired sector. Now this is what the cylinder on which the data is there. On the cylinder the data is there. Now this read write head, this is disk arm. So this read write head is going to move right side and left side in this fashion. So it is going to rotate. So whatever time it's take to move the heads to the cylinder containing the desired sector, cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, that time is called as the seek time. And what is rotational latency? That is additional time waiting for the disk to rotate. Now this disk is keep rotating in this fashion, circular fashion, right? So there is actually a spindle across which the disk rotates. Now data is here, so disk has to rotate in this fashion to bring this sector below the disk arm. So whatever additional time it takes to rotate the disk to the desired sector under the disk head, that time is called as rotational latency. So these two are the access time for required for accessing a particular block from the disk. Now what is objective of disk scheduling algorithm? Is to minimize the seek time. Now we have just seen what is meaning of seek time. Alright, so objective is to minimize seek time. How we can minimize the seek time? If we can minimize the seek distance, that is total number of cylinders crossed. If we can minimize that seek distance, it means we can minimize the seek time. Means when read write head is going to rotate, how much cylinder it needs to cross, how much cylinders it needs to cross to go to the desired sector where data is stored. That total number of cylinders is becomes the total number of cylinder crossed, that is the seek distance, and that is equivalent to seek time. Here one more terminology we must understand, that is the disk bandwidth is the total number of bytes transferred divided by the total time between the first request for the service and completion of the last transfer. That is basically the disk bandwidth. Here when we talk about disk scheduling algorithm, we specifically focuses our attention on the calculation of seek time, that is seek distance, the total number of cylinder crossed. Alright, so to understand this in more detail along with the algorithms, let's understand first the problem statement. Suppose a disk drive has 200 cylinders. So this is my disk and the total number of cylinders on this disk are 200. The numbers are from 0 to 99. So 0 is the inner cylinder and outermost cylinder is 199. The numbers are given. The driver is currently servicing a request at cylinder 53. So assuming that the read-write head is currently at one particular cylinder and number of that cylinder is 53 currently. The request queue in FIFO order is given, that is 98, cylinder number 98, cylinder number 183, cylinder number 37, 122, 14, 124, 65 and 67. Objective is to calculate the total distance in cylinders for the various disk scheduling algorithms. So here we will be talking about different disk scheduling algorithms such as Fcfs, that is first come first serve, SSTF, scan, cscan and look. We begin our discussion with first scheduling algorithm, that is Fcfs. Now what is this Fcfs scheduling? This is first come first serve disk scheduling algorithm. This is the simplest form of disk scheduling, which is first come first serve disk scheduling algorithm. This algorithm is intrinsically fair, but it generally does not provide the fastest service. How actually it works, we will see with the example now. Considering that in the diagram that I am showing to you, this is our entire disk with all cylinders given 0 to 199 and all the cylinders are marked as per the request queue in FIFO order. So considering our example, a disk queue with request for IO blocks on cylinders. Now what I have done, I have put all the cylinder numbers on the disk. So here disk cylinder number 0, then 14, then 37, then 53, 65, 67, 98, 122, 124, 183 and 199. What is said is the disk head is initially at cylinder number 53. So currently our disk head is at location 53. So from this location 53, the request for cylinder number 98. So read-write head should move from 53 to 98. So it will go from 53 to 98. So the first service is done for accessing block number 98 or cylinder number 98. After that 183. So it is read-write head is moving from 98 to 183, crossing the cylinders from 98 to 183. Then it is going from 183 to 37. 183 to 37. Then after that it going to 122 after 37. So 122 is here, and then after 122 it is going to 14. So 122 to 14. Now after this 14 it is moving to 124. So it has moved to 124, then coming back to 65 and then 67. In this process, that is servicing all these blocks on cylinders numbers, it has crossed number of cylinders, and that is what we have to count, the total number of cylinders crossed, and that will be our seek distance. So in this case, C current position was 53. So from 53 it has moved up to 98. So total number of cylinder crossed we will do like 98 minus 53. Then from 98 it moved to 183. So total number of cylinder crossed in this case will be 183 minus 98. Then from 183 it moved to 37. So total number of cylinder crossed in this case will be 183 minus 37, and so on. We will follow the process and we will calculate the total number of cylinder crossed in this way, that is 98 minus 53 plus 183 minus 98 and so on. So the total number of cylinder crossed in this case will be 640. We can use calculator for calculating these values. This 640 is nothing but the seek time or seek distance in case of first come first served disk scheduling algorithm.